The movie begins in Detroit, where three friends, Rocky, Alex, and Money, make quick cash by breaking into rich people's houses. Alex knows how to bypass alarm systems, giving them time to snatch valuables. They move quickly through the rooms, filling their bags with whatever looks expensive. When they're done, they smash a glass door with a rock before slipping away, making it look like a random burglary. Rocky's home life is rough. She lives with her little sister, Diddy. Rocky dreams of escaping with Diddy and promises her that one day they'll leave Detroit behind and start a new life in California. Alex lives with his father, a police officer who is rarely home, always on long shifts at the station. Alex quietly uses his dad's access to police files to dig up details on wealthy homeowners, those who won't be home and whose houses make easy targets. Money is the risk-taker of the group. He hears from a contact about a massive score, a blind veteran living alone in a rundown neighborhood. The story goes that he received a settlement after his daughter died in a car crash and has more than $300,000 hidden somewhere in his house. Rocky immediately sees this as her way out, the job that could finally give her and Diddy a real future. Alex hesitates. Stealing from a blind man feels wrong, but Money insists that blindness doesn't make someone a good person. Rocky pleads with Alex, and because he secretly has feelings for her, he agrees to help, even though his conscience is uneasy. The three begin watching the veteran's home. It's the last lived-in house on a deserted street where every other place is boarded up or falling apart. The man seems isolated and vulnerable, but when his large Rottweiler suddenly leaps at their car, barking viciously, they realize the break-in won't be as simple as they hoped. That night, the plan goes into motion. With the story lingering in Alex's mind, they approach the house. Money throws drugged meat over the fence to knock out the Rottweiler. Once it's down, Rocky climbs through a small bathroom window and shuts off the alarm system. Outside, Money teases Alex for his obvious crush on Rocky, but Alex ignores him. Rocky unlocks the back door, letting them inside. Upstairs, Money creeps into the veteran's room. The blind man is asleep in bed with the TV still glowing. He stirs at the faint sound of footsteps, sitting upright to listen. After a tense pause, he decides it's nothing, turns off the TV, and lies back down. To make sure he won't notice them, Money sprays gas in the room to mask any sound, convinced that the job is now secure. Inside the house, the three discover a locked door leading down to the basement. Convinced that the hidden money must be down there, Money tries to force it open by smashing at the frame. The noise draws the blind man out of his room. He slowly makes his way down the stairs, his footsteps heavy and deliberate. Money quickly tries to play it off, saying he doesn't want any trouble. But when the tension rises, he pulls out a handgun and points it directly at the blind man's face. Unshaken, the old man steps forward. Each time Money warns him to stop, he keeps inching closer. In a sudden move, the blind man grabs the gun, shoves Money against the wall, and demands to know how many people are in the house. Terrified, Money insists he's alone. The veteran relaxes his grip for a second, then fires the gun straight into Money's neck and head. The shot kills him instantly. His body slumps to the ground, silent. Through the crack in the door, she watches as the blind man kneels by a safe hidden in the wall. He punches in a code, 2978, and checks the stack of bills inside before leaving. Rocky memorizes the combination. Meanwhile, Alex, who heard the shot, quietly finds Rocky. Together, they realize escape is their only option. Their best chance is to reach the basement and sneak out through the storm cellar door. But before they can move, Rocky hurries to the safe, opens it with the code she saw, and stuffs the cash into her bag. Just as they prepare to head downstairs, the blind man suddenly emerges from the basement, holding Money's gun. They freeze, keeping silent as he listens for movement. Then a phone buzzes, breaking the silence. He immediately fires in that direction. Using the chaos, Rocky and Alex slip into the basement while the blind man drags Money's corpse toward the outside. Down below, the two stumble across something horrifying. A young woman is chained to the wall, terrified, but alive. Rocky and Alex nearly turn back, but the captive desperately shows them a newspaper clipping. It reveals she is Cindy, the woman who killed the blind man's daughter in a car accident. Although she was cleared in court, the old man kidnapped her for his own twisted justice. Shocked, they break her chains and guide her to the cellar door. Just as they push it open, the blind man is standing there. Without hesitation, he fires. The bullet hits Cindy in the face, killing her instantly. The two hide as the blind man realizes what he's done. Overcome with grief and rage, he collapses over Cindy's body, letting out a guttural scream. Seizing the chance, Alex snatches his keys and whispers to Rocky that they'll try for the front door instead. They creep upstairs, but the veteran suddenly flips a switch, plunging the basement into total darkness. Rocky and Alex can barely see. Hands outstretched, they stumble blindly through the pitch-black space as the blind man stalks them, firing into the dark with every sound he hears. In the dark basement, Rocky almost brushes against the blind man without realizing it. At the last moment, Alex whispers her name. The sound draws the blind man's attention, and he lunges at Alex, pulling the trigger on his gun. It clicks empty, no bullets left. Alex seizes the opportunity, shoving a heavy shelf down on him. The old man crashes to the ground, pinned under the weight. Alex and Rocky sprint back upstairs, their hearts racing. Once at the top, Alex jams the door shut with a crowbar, holding it tight as Rocky works on unlocking their way out. But they are met with a new threat. The Rottweiler has woken up. The dog growls viciously, teeth bared, ready to attack. The two panic and dash down the hall, eventually luring the animal into a room and slamming the door behind it. Relief doesn't last long. The blind man has already freed himself from the basement. He charges at Alex with surprising strength, beating him repeatedly and jamming a sharp pair of garden shears toward his chest. Alex gasps, falling limp. The blind man then turns his attention to Rocky, knocking her unconscious. When Rocky regains consciousness, she's horrified to find herself chained in the basement, the same place where Cindy was held. She pleads with the blind man, saying nothing he does will ever bring his daughter back. But the old man shakes his head. Not true. He growls. He explains his twisted logic. Cindy had taken his daughter's life in the car accident. To balance that, he kidnapped Cindy and forced her to carry a child for him, his way of replacing the daughter he lost. He claims that once Cindy gave him a baby, he would have let her go. Now that Cindy is dead, along with his unborn child, he blames Rocky for ruining everything. Rocky stares in terror as he cuts open a hole in her pants. From a fridge, he pulls out a turkey baster filled with his semen, preparing to impregnate her. The horror freezes her in place, until Alex, who somehow survived the earlier attack, appears behind the blind man. With a hammer in hand, he slams it against the man's skull. Rocky screams as Alex quickly unlocks her chains. Together, they wrestle the blind man and manage to handcuff him to a pole. Rage overtakes Rocky. She kicks him repeatedly and then shoves the bastard into his mouth, gagging him with the same tool he meant to use on her. Shaken but determined, they agree not to call the police. If the truth came out, the blind man could just say they were criminals who broke into his house. Nobody would believe what he had really been doing down in the basement. They decide their only choice is to get out alive and take the stolen money with them. Climbing back upstairs, they finally pry open the front door. Freedom is within reach, but the blind man isn't finished. He's freed himself yet again and fires a gun at Alex, striking him dead right on the spot. Rocky screams, clutching the money, and bolts outside. The Rottweiler is released and charges after her. Rocky races toward Money's car, fumbling with the keys. The dog lunges at her, forcing her to retreat into the trunk to lure it inside. She slams the lid down, trapping it. Out of breath, she crawls out and reaches for the duffel bag of cash she had dropped. Just as her fingers close around it, the blind man appears from the shadows and knocks her unconscious once more. She wakes to find herself being dragged back into the house. Panic sets in, but then she notices a ladybug land gently on her hand. To her, it's a sign of hope, reminding her of her childhood promise to escape and start fresh. Strength surges through her. Rocky pulls out the remote control and slams her thumb on the button. The house alarm explodes with blaring noise, filling every corner. The blind man clutches his ears, disoriented. Seizing the chance, Rocky grabs a crowbar and swings it over and over, smashing him down the hallway until he stumbles backward. He falls through the open basement door as his own gun discharges, shooting him in the side. Breathing heavily, Rocky doesn't look back. She grabs the money, runs outside into the daylight, and doesn't stop until she's far from the house. Sirens wail in the distance as police cars approach, But Rocky is gone before they arrive. The final scene shifts to the Detroit airport. Rocky sits with her younger sister Diddy, clutching her tightly. They're about to board a plane to California, the dream Rocky has been holding on to since the beginning. On a nearby TV screen, a news report catches her eye. The headline shocks her. The blind man is alive. The reporter says that only 2 burglars were discovered breaking into his home, and that the man defended himself by killing them. No mention of Rocky. No mention of Cindy. Rocky's face pales. She realizes the blind man is still out there, free, and he knows she has his money. But she doesn't say a word to Diddy. Instead, she takes her sister's hand, determined to leave Detroit behind for good. Together, they walk away without looking back. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel for amazing recaps. Thank you for watching.